Carry.
This is Drop Tent Media Network.
Hey, welcome to the Weekday Comics. I'm Dave Primiano.
And I'm Dan D'Aprile, and we're here to shoot the shit and talk the news.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing.
We're back. We were a little confused at the end of last episode as to who our guest would be this week. Do you want to introduce our guest this week, Dave?
Yes, to end off Women's Month in a huge way. We have no one. Now we asked, there was fucking, it might be my internet, but like every time I send out messages to people, it takes them 26 hours to reply. And then, so just once the back and like, can I get back to you? Like that's a day later. And I don't feel like scrambling. Like, what makes people feel like more of an afterthought than, hey, do you want to be on the podcast tomorrow?
Yeah.
So I never want people to feel unwanted. So we just ask no one.
Right. So for Women's History Month, what you're saying is you just booked
Their history.
75% of the month. Fitting. All right, Dave.
Actually, no, we took the first week off.
Oh, that's right. So they didn't even get.
And now we don't have to worry about booking another woman for 11 more months.
Thank God.
Because oof.
And technically, Rachel was with her boyfriend, so
it still counts.
I count. That's like an end. Our other female guest, her Medina, her husband was here, so we actually didn't have an unaccompanied woman through all of Women's History Month.
Between the three of us, there should never be an unaccompanied woman.
That is fair.
They should all have surveillance and.
They're in a basement in North Philadelphia. It's smart to have some kind of a.
Speaking of safety, now
what a transition. Speaking of boat safety, bridge safety,
feeling comfortable with the people you're working with. Did you watch that Nickelodeon documentary that came out this weekend?
Oh yes, I did. It was pretty crazy. Huge reveal, celebrity reveal. You love that.
I guess these are all slightly after my time people, so none of them are big stars to me. But
okay, well, you know Amanda Bynes. She got huge.
Yeah.
After Nick, she was in there with Dan Schneider doing those, 8-hour auditions.
Well, wait, okay, because he bookended it. It started with Dan Schneider and it ended with Dan Schneider,
and then they had the other dude who was the actual rapist.
He was way worse. That's kind of a. I mean, he's a fat creep.
Well, he let it, it all happened under his watch, and he was a fat creep. I think those two things together are.
How would you describe that haircut? Like Pete, he's like the Mad Magazine logo, a fat Mad Magazine logo.
Alfred
with
Newman,
Pete Rose haircut.
That is kind of like a Pete Rose haircut. Yeah, just creepy, and they have so many pictures of him where he looks disturbing. Like he just looks weird, and he's like holding a kid, and he looks devilish, and it's like
they did that. They would like show a picture, and then they would zoom in on just his eyes and play ominous tones.
Yeah, I love it.
You're not gonna get me with that one. But...
And then they move on. They do very heavily imply though with those shots, and then they're like, and then there were two pedophiles that worked there, and it's like, okay, but he just had these weirdly long auditions, which is still creepy.
He was more statutory-esque because okay, he put them in weird situations. Like in the show, he did perverted humor slightly above their age, so he'd have like facials and
it was. I don't remember. I watched some of all that. I caught this at like the very maybe beginning for him. It was like the end of me watching Nick stuff, so I didn't watch any of the Amanda Bynes stuff or anything like that. But I forgot. I didn't process when I was a kid just how many like money shots were in all that. Like I had they like rolled the clip and I was like, oh, this is gratuitous. And everything with Ariana Grande was like insane. That was like, you can't watch that and be like, oh, this is just a guy doing like adult humor with a kid. Like, no, that was crazy.
Yeah. She's the only one that's like a star now of everybody that was mentioned in that documentary, though.
Yeah.
So no. But it was
Oh, I see what you're saying. But she definitely gave it her all in those scenes, which made it even creepier.
Yeah. Is that him now?
No, really? I thought that was the guy from Men in Black. The boss of the Men in Black.
You fucking what's his name?
What the fuck is his name? He's so good. He's the dad on Freddy Got Fingered.
Yeah. And Larry Sanders Show.
Rip Torn.
Okay.
Yeah, he looks like Rip Torn now.
Well, let's not shit on his legacy by comparing him to the Nickelodeon pedophiles.
Nickelodeon. Yeah, and he has like, it's kind of like a Joe Paterno situation with this Dan Schneider guy, because while he hasn't confirmed raped anybody, he encouraged the culture that allowed it to happen.
He might be responsible for middle school sluttiness. Like I said, these shows are slightly after my time.
Yeah.
When I was in middle school, I still like all the fucking girls that went to middle school with me were wearing the sweatshirts with like a lion on it or whatever, you know, like a zoo animal. And then like I noticed a few years later, all these girls are dressing like whores.
Like sluts.
It's because he had all the same age group girls dressing like whores, and I guess the real life girls wanted to emulate these girls.
Yeah.
So if I was 12 or 13 when he was at his peak, I probably would fucking love this guy.
For the age group, once again, the guy never misses. Like he understands exactly what a 13-year-old boy would be into.
Yeah, saying, even
the
if
problem is he looks like, you know, Shrek kind of. So like some of the stuff I could, like, I feel like I'm permissive enough to be like, you shouldn't be doing it, but at least I understand the whole idea in the beginning where they're like, they were going to write like SNL, but just put kids in it. They weren't going to compromise any of the writing. They were just going to do it, you know, and just have the kids. All right. You get me to like maybe a money shot joke or something there. And I feel like I'm pretty far on the, like, what I will tolerate in the service of like comedy. But then, yeah, you get into like when he's in the hot tub with Amanda Bynes and he's chosen to be fully clothed as if that makes it less creepy rather than more creepy.
Wait, hold on.
Did you not see that scene?
I must not have. Okay.
It was in the Amanda. I think it was in the Amanda
do remember
Bynes show.
Kinda, yeah.
He had her in like a swimsuit and like a bikini, I think, and she was in a hot tub, and he was just sitting there as himself, and they were like talking, but he was fully clothed. He had like that stupid 90s overshirt that he was wearing in every picture.
So
like,
you think it's creepier that he's wearing, if he was in just a bathing suit, that's less creepy?
Yes, because the performance of it betrays his thought process, right? Like he's like, I'm gonna put her in a bikini and put her in here. Now anybody should have the be like, okay, maybe I won't also now be in. But this guy not only knew it, he was like titillated by it. He's like, I'm gonna put myself in there too, but it will be too much if I'm in a bathing suit. So I'm going to put on clothes. It's like the amount of premeditation involved in writing that situation is creepier than if he was just like, oh yeah, we'll just be in like a hot tub. Like there's no, it's more evil because of the route you have to take to getting him in there in like 2 layers of clothing.
So him overcompensated. So his wearing the clothes, if it's just a dude in a bathing suit and a child in a bathing suit,
right? If he was like a puppy level,
this is how you're supposed to sit in a hot tub, but him wearing the extra clothes is an admission of creepiness.
Yes, exactly. He can't, the plausible deniability of, well, I was just writing a sketch, you know, it's out the window because he's chosen to do this insane, extra insane thing. The step to it adds to like the premeditation in my mind.
But okay, has his involvement had anything to do with her craziness? Because we saw like a fairly normal adult Amanda Bynes, at least, you know, the cross dresser and
sure. She's the man. Yeah.
But like she was already out of his like production whatever
right
by the time, and she seemed like a normal adult person.
Right.
And then she went full Lohan.
She did. But do you think it might have been? It could have been. She was a child star in general, and that's tough. But I can't imagine it's. I don't know. This had to be creepy because like they kept talking in the movie about like their special relationship where they're like going into like a room together for like 6 hours and no one sees them and they're like pitching ideas. And it is weird because they do kind of give him credit of like it's crazy that this guy was letting like a 12-year-old girl like write sketches and characters and like basically spearhead a show. But then all this other shit's going on. It's impossible to be like, okay, this guy was just kind of a creep, but he like really saw the talent or whatever. Like he obviously did, but he was like, it was all manipulative and
well, yeah. When you say saw the talent, you mean acting and singing. And
yes,
yeah, okay.
Yes, obviously, yeah. Like,
well, yeah,
you know, all the things that made her, you know, the star she once was, I guess. But yeah, she couldn't. I mean, I'm sure Amanda Bynes would have had a nice career if she hadn't have lost her mind. She would have been able to keep it going, you know?
I mean, did she ever really appeal? Like, even as she got older and older, she mostly appealed to the teen crowd. And maybe, yeah, she could never, I don't know if she was ever getting out of that.
Yeah, but there's all like renaissance of all that stuff. So she would go away for a little while, then she could come back.
Okay.
Do like a, what's her face?
Like a parody movie, like a Molly Ringwald showing up in Not Another Teen Movie or something like that.
Yeah. Or she could like what's her face in Stranger Things? She could come back and do a different role and kind of revitalize her career.
Who in Stranger Things?
Lydia from Beetlejuice. Why am I drawing a blank on her name?
Yeah, I guess she went kind of crazy too.
Yeah, she went crazy.
Was she
considered and stole a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, kind of like a child star, I guess.
She was a teenager.
What is her name?
Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder. Thank you. I can't believe I was drawing a blank on that. Yeah. Yeah, Winona Ryder. She went crazy. She stole all those purses or whatever. She went away for a little while. Then she came back. They had the perfect role for her, a crazy woman that we like.
Crazy, yeah.
She does like Black Snake Mona and stuff like that, right?
You're thinking Christina Ricci.
That's Christina Ricci,
which is a similar one.
Yeah, Christina Ricci also had that.
I've been mixing up my white ladies. Sorry,
you're mixing up your Tim Burton.
Your Tim Burton whites.
Yeah.
Your Tim Burton whites.
Write that down. Yeah, Helena Bonham Carter special mention. You can't talk about the Tim Burton whites without mentioning her.
She's Queen Tim Burton White.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
It is kind of like, it's not just Nickelodeon or like, if you think about it, and would you consider this pedophilic or pedophilic adjacent?
Well, what happened with Drake Bell was certainly pedophilic.
No, that's not what I was. Yes, that 100%. That is a man. That's just
the
good literal
old-fashioned
definition of pedophilia.
Good old.
It is just a tough beginning to a sentence. Would you consider this pedophilic? Would you like? What's Dave about to say?
Not about Drake. No. This is other people's behavior. I'm speaking on.
Okay, good.
Like how like pretty much like every Hollywood sex symbol out there right now was plucked by some casting director when they were 6. That's like a special talent, because like all 6-year-olds are like adorable kids, but you could just, that one is going to grow up smoking hot.
Yeah,
that one is that pedophilic or pedophilic adjacent?
I don't know. It's a fine line. It's like the Leon the Professional argument. Like you watch if you know the movie,
there's a very young Natalie Portman,
and she makes like, there's a scene where she's like being raised by this hitman that's just like a stranger to her. She makes like a move on him because she's like fallen in love with him, and he pushes her away, and it's like a crazy scene because there's all this like tension, and it's like it's so weird. Like it's such an uncomfortable scene for the characters. And then you come to find out that Luc Besson married like multiple 14-year-old girls throughout his life, and like is like a pedophile, but like he's in France, so they're like, it is what it is, and so he like got away with it or whatever. But he's a creepy guy, and it like kind of like changes. I used to be like, it's crazy how they like created that tension in the scene. It's so inappropriate and weird, and then they just like move on from it. And it's like, oh, it's because it's that guy's fantasy.
I did
It's
not know
He
this
wasn't
about
intending
him.
to make it like strange for the audience. It certainly is. For him, he watches it and he's like, ooh, you know. And so it kind of ruins it for me a little bit, that movie. But we're not that scene, at least.
So that's
when he
how
hangs
we
from the
save,
ceiling and shoots everyone. Still pretty
that's how we save these child actors. So we send them to Harvard and
you got to put him around Luc Besson.
Come out.
That's what you got to do.
No, it sounds like that's not what you got to do. That's how you overcorrect for Luc Besson.
Yeah, you mean Jean Reno or Luc?
Jean Reno.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I misspoke, but I did like hearing you go with it.
Wait.
So his name is Jean Reno.
No, that's the actor.
Luc Besson is the director.
I'm so sorry.
Luc Besson is the one who has the multiple problematic marriages.
Oh, okay.
Jean Reno is just the actor in the movie.
That's what I've just been calling him Gene Reno.
Yeah. Which is, yes. If he was ever going to be on Reno 911, he would be Gene Reno.
There's not a single accent above any of the letters in his name.
No, correct.
So he's Gene Reno.
He's Gene Reno, man.
Hello. It's like, hey,
hello, I'm Gene Reno.
Yeah.
I'm a professional. Actually, it's just called. There's no accents on professional either.
No.
But
Well, that film's been titled a couple of different things, if we remember correctly.
Yeah, like a couple different like versions.
Yeah, technically.
But Luc Besson's done a shit ton of movies, right?
Yeah, he did The Fifth Element, which is like one of my nostalgically, but one of my all-time, maybe top 10 movies. I love it. But
there's no child problems in that one, to my knowledge, which is nice.
No, hot Mila Jovovich.
I'm looking for anything good,
Peak
guys.
Mila Jovovich of age, very of age.
Yeah.
And I liked it.
So you can,
and I was like 14 at the time, so it wasn't even a Dan Schneider situation
yeah.
where it was like an old man pitching to me. Like this Mila Jovovich, she's of legal age.
She's of sound body and mind.
Although I do believe, not to make it worse, but I think he married her. Luc Besson married Mila Jovovich, and I think he met her when she was underage. So you can look that up. I'm not sure.
So
I don't know all of Luc Besson's history outside of.
Oh yeah, this guy looks the type. I don't know what he looks like.
This guy, they called him the Shakespeare of France. I mean, the Shakespeare. I'm having a fucking problem,
dude.
It's
okay. My mind's all over the place.
Spielberg of France.
Okay.
And I'm really happy that this happened to him and not Steven
More like
Spielberg.
the Woody Allen, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did have rape allegations leveled against him in 2018 by San Van Roy, an actress in the film of Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets.
Oh, you're gonna throw away your life on Valerian and the City of.
Did you see that movie?
No,
I made it 10 minutes in. I think it's easily the worst dialogue I've ever heard in a movie ever. I've never heard people fucking just like having a normal conversation back when we met 20 years ago to this day.
I do remember seeing this thing was a piece of shit.
It looked so pretty.
It looked very pretty, but it was a giant just all over the place.
It probably ruined that Dane DeHaan dude's career because I thought he was like on the trajectory up to be the next thing.
It's literally named after a supplement that puts you to sleep. I don't know what it's called. Valerian. I don't know anything about it though. I missed this one. The Fifth Element and Lucy, which I don't remember.
Lucy's where Scarlett Johansson becomes really smart. Like there's like smart drugs, like the Limitless drugs that she's smuggling them up her ass or wherever they put her.
Is that how she becomes smart?
And then the bag breaks open and it gives her unlimited potential.
Okay.
It's even more limitless than Limitless. In fact, Limitless had a lot of limits compared to Lucy.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem with Limitless.
Yeah, she could like change the color of her hair just by thinking it.
Really?
Bradley Cooper couldn't do that shit.
Well, he was just taking them orally though. He didn't have a bag of them rupture inside. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I guess
I don't actually think they're in the same universe. I just made it. I just like combining two movie universes.
Sure. I believe that all movies happen in the same universe, even when they conflict.
I like to think they don't. I like to think Star Wars 7, 8, and 9 take place in a completely different universe than
all the other
than
Star
1
Wars?
through 6. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have convinced myself.
Lucy, do you remember the moment when Lucy jumps the shark? When she starts doing stuff like that, she starts changing her hair. You're just like, oh, okay, we're just Neoing in the Matrix right now.
But, she blinked her eyes different colors.
Yeah. Here, I'll just pull up a little bit for you guys there. Yeah,
it was so limitless. You could like change the reality of
these two
reality.
Sorry, buddy. These two I would skip. Yeah, Valerian and Lucy.
Lucy.
I mean,
God, I missed both of these.
Yeah.
So anything before a certain date. Which is also his dating profile.
He's got
after his is after a certain date, but his movies are good before a certain date.
I like his older stuff. Unlike him, I like his older stuff. He did one, I think I might be wrong, called it was another one that had two names. He changes the names of his movies all the time too, which is confusing. It was called Danny the Dog, and then they changed it to Unchained or something. It was like a Jet Li movie with he was like they made him wear a collar, and when they took his I know, and when they took it is, and that's like the point of it. And they took his collar off, and he became like a unstoppable kung fu like killer. So and what's his face from Roger Rabbit? My mind is fucked today.
The guy, the girl,
the man, the human being from Roger
Mario.
Rabbit.
Fucking
Oh, I've just been checking out more of his stuff.
I mean, I know all these names
because he just had Good Friday. There's a movie that I want to check out of his, like Good Friday. It's like an action movie or something. Oh, what am I doing? Sorry, everybody.
Roger Man.
Yeah, Roger Man.
Looked up Roger Man.
But okay, so he there's a karate suppressing dog collar,
and that's
Bob
Jet Li.
Hopkins.
Bob
Hoskins.
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 Yeah, Bob Hoskins. He's great. And so he's like a mob boss, and he's got Jet Li on this leash, basically.
I watched this.
And he takes the collar off, and Jet Li like kicks his way, and then he has to like eventually learn, like, I think he gets lost and he gets like adopted by like a white family. That's very racist the more I think about it.
So is he like a physical dog?
No, he's like a human, but has been mistreated and raised from birth to be this like weird fighting machine / man dog.
If Mike Vick had balls, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'd raise humans instead.
Yeah, right.
It's real bad.
It's kind of like that.
Okay, so then
they don't glorify the slavery dog aspect of it.
Yeah,
that's kind of his whole thing to overcome.
Does he save the day by alerting the police that someone fell down a well? Or...
Yeah, actually, at the end of the movie, he saves the day and he drags his ass on the carpet.
He earned it, though. I bet it feels great.
If I was a dog, I would do it. If I could get away with it as a man, I would do it.
I mean, I don't own the floors that I live on, so I'd feel if I owned the floors that I live on, I would probably give it a try. It probably feels like, especially I'm at that age now where I just get the occasional itch that just like
to scoot across your living room.
I would love to. I would love to solve that problem that way.
It's a goal to reach for. It's something to strive for. One day you can drag your ass across your own living room.
It looks better on a carpet, but like understandably, you probably want to do it on a solid It's cleaning wise.
Yeah. The problem is that dragging your ass on a bare floor, I'm not going to do much for you. Might as well scratch it at that point. You got to drag it across like a carpet, some fiber.
I know,
scratch.
But a vacuum is not going to get that out.
Yeah,
like a mop will get rid of the floor.
That's the catch-22, right? You just can't really have it all.
Yeah,
you're either scratching your butthole with the floor, or you're ruining the carpet.
True. I think floor technology needs to take that next step.
we need a third thing.
Yeah, we've pretty much had the same floors my entire life. You know, there's a carpet, there's wood,
there's tile.
I got
everyone's came to realize at the same time that tile.
I think tile would be better than wood.
Tile. You have the grooves, so you'd still get like a scratch action at least.
Yeah,
I think I know why tile was invented now, and that's why it's usually in the bathroom.
That's right,
and the kitchen.
Things you can hose down. Close to all the cleaning supplies.
As
soon as you're done, you can just turn around and
the laundry room, every room with cleaning supplies. That's why tile was. Yeah, that's why those are. They invented it with that in mind. They're like, the world's not ready to hear it yet.
Yeah,
but that floor's meant for you to drag your bare asshole across.
Good. I thought we were gonna have to invent it, but it turns out humanity is amazing. We've invented it.
I hope fucking the tile family calls us like you've uncovered our great mystery.
The tile family,
the heiress to the tile fortune.
Speaking of limitless, you finally unlocked the tile floor.
The tile floor. This is why we invented it. thousands of years ago.
I don't even know how we got it.
Thank you both so much for indulging me
That's
on
all
that
right.
thought. This is why podcasts are fun. When you don't let a thought just die, we have to explore every angle.
Keeps going in.
I do truly want to pull the clip and then just end it with like the Weekday comics. They nailed down the best floor option to wipe your ass with if you had to.
We've discovered the secret of Kyle.
Oh, yeah. What more is there?
You guys even tried. You were like the Nickelodeon documentary. We should talk about that. Like you did so good, and then we
I had
nailed on
more-
gold.
You know who I felt really bad for after that Nickelodeon documentary? Cyclops.
James Marsden.
No, actual character. Fuck James
Oh.
Marsden. Yeah, that's what I was going to get to. Fucking 2 days before that documentary come out, they had that X-Men 97 series.
Yes.
And fucking Cyclops is awesome in this series. For the
Okay.
first, he's cooler than he's ever been in anything. And he gets 2 days of being awesome. And then James Marsden comes out, I'm pro pedophile.
Yeah. It's weird. It's a weird stance to take for him. I like him, and that's sad.
Was this what you were talking about?
Yeah.
Just the
They released a sequel to the X-Men cartoon from when we were all kids.
What? How did I miss this entirely?
The first 2 episodes are out, and it's fucking awesome.
Where are they at? I'm
It's
gonna
on
watch this
Disney
tonight.
Plus.
Oh, that's
Although, type in X-Men 97 Magneto, because Magneto has like the coolest monologue at the end of the second episode, but he says it while wearing. Show the first picture.
Just the first one.
That's Magneto now.
Wow. Well,
No, that is gay as fuck.
that is. It's got it's very like RuPaul vibes. Like
I
that
don't
wig.
know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know because he's because in the end of the old Fox one back in the day, Professor X gets like injured, so he has to be taken up to space for
Yeah,
so.
that's
But
right.
in his will, he leaves his X-Men to Magneto. So this is
He just leaves the X-Men to Magneto.
yeah.
What a plot device.
Well, they're best
giving
friends.
I'm giving my students, I'm giving all these other people to you, Magneto.
Okay, you make it sound like slavery. He gets to school and so he's the leader of the X-Men now. So they wanted to make him a good guy.
All
And I thought, okay, at first I was like, oh, they're just going to make him gay. That's cool.
yeah, I mean,
Magneto's sexuality has nothing to do with his character.
that's true.
I'd say only. Yeah, but he's not gay in this at all. So there's,
That's good. I mean, he's already a concentration camp survivor. We don't need to give him other things. It's not as if they're like, that's it. Oh, and he's gay.
He's a rich character already.
And he's gay. There was a reason.
yeah.
That explains it.
Aside from like Superman, Spider-Man, and Batman, because they all have their established love interest.
Uh-huh.
I don't care about anyone's sexuality, but
You just
you're
care
gonna make
about
him
canon.
straight and wear that?
That is true. But he has kids. Aren't the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver
yeah.
his children?
Hey, gay
So,
people.
All right.
I have-
Then he's on the spectrum.
we've
scale.
had guests with gay parents.
That is true.
Yeah.
Okay, so he doesn't love them. Or I mean, he didn't love the mother. I don't know why he didn't love them. You gay people don't love their kids, you know. No, he loves his kids, but he just had them to create mutants. Do you think, or
No, he's not gay. He is not gay in the show.
wait, he's not gay?
He's
I'm
not
so
gay.
confused. He's
Yes.
gay. Look at him. He is gay.
He's not. They establish he has. I don't want
They
to spoil.
established that he's not gay.
I
Does
don't
he
want
like
to spoil.
kiss
He has
somebody?
a relationship with a female
Okay.
in the show,
Okay. Gotcha.
but he's wearing that.
Well, Dave can't get
Dave
off
is
his
doing a
outfit.
lot of work to just call a character gay from that. Like it's like the 90s. He's like,
Yeah,
like,
you
but
have
look what
brought
he was
back-
wearing.
Yeah, you brought back a lot of '90s commentary about this.
No, I get you. So yeah, so he's
Oh,
got
click
is
on
this-
that one right there with him and Cyclops next to each other. That's just them at work, and I
Right.
like that. It's like
just them chilling, just kind of just like game game
just
was shit.
another day at the office.
Game was pretty garbage. Did you catch the Weekday comics?
Yeah.
I did pretty good.
Yeah, they
pretty
said
good.
I was gay looking.
What?
Dave doesn't like that I'm pulling off this fucking purple hood cape
It's called a
dealie.
cape, yeah, and
I-
it looks like a scarf. The cape
Well,
isn't some. The cape
that-
is supposed to be attached at the two shoulders. He's got it like a very effete-looking scarf.
That's one of the things I agree that is that is somewhat gay about this outfit is the open shoulders.
yes,
Straight men aren't really big fans of like adding capes, but then opening up the shoulder. And
Yeah,
thin
anytime
chin.
we right.
That's a very a female or
And the
gay.
gloves. The gloves
There's
are
gotta
rubbing
And
be-
then
you.
he adds the full length gloves, no
All the
less.
way
They
up.
go all the way up his biceps.
there's got to be a heterosexual cutoff limit for gloves.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
Here, I think
here
is good.
once if you're within like 2 inches of the elbow,
So it's like a fisting rule. So
It
if it
depends on
goes
what-
past the elbow.
Yeah, if it goes
then
towards
don't marry her.
Yeah. If it goes past the elbow, you better have a falcon coming on to land on your arm. That's
that'd be
the
fun.
only time I think you can go.
Does Magneto? I'm not a big comic guy. I
Does
just
he have
like
a falcon?
cartoons.
I don't think so.
Yeah, Magneto and a
I don't
falcon.
think he had a falcon.
That has nothing to do with metal.
No, he's
it wouldn't fit the character very well.
It's a metal
he
bird.
just has a
Yeah.
bird.
I
for
control
some reason.
magnetism, and this bird.
This bird likes me.
And Jeff. He just named it Jeff.
Again, this is the writers just doing one too many things
Yeah.
with this character. Like, okay, he's a concentration camp survivor and he's gay. What are his powers? Magnetism.
He's not
and he's a
gay.
bird.
Yeah. And he's telekinetically linked to
To a bird.
one falcon, not all falcons, just one. There's
I
no
think
metal on the falcon. He's a pretty standard falcon, other than the fact that he's telekinetically linked to Magneto.
I like that you're giving him telekinesis. I just like him. He's like trained a falcon. He's
Yeah.
got this other life, and he also just has a hobby.
He's got a whole mutant agenda. So he doesn't have fucking falcon training time.
Right.
Dude, falcon training. Do people do that as a hobby? That's like a full-time thing, right?
I guess I don't know.
Like,
Like
I
I've
feel
never
like-
pursued it as either. I've never thought about it that hard. It's got to be a job for some people. Everyone I've ever seen dealing with falcons
Yeah,
has
they're-
been doing it professionally.
exactly.
But there have to be people that are in it just for the love of the game. They're just in it for the birds.
Maybe. I feel like that's got to take time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably very time intensive.
Although,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess I fucking saw the hour timer on my fucking Final Fantasy Rebirth. I could have probably trained a falcon in the time it took me to beat that game. And I
Yeah.
didn't even finish all the side quests.
You start using that as a point of reference for other people. You're just like, it took me 3 falcon trainings
Yeah.
to get through that game.
How long does it take to train a falcon? Okay, I
I know.
would be able to have 5 falcons.
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
now.
I've put 99 hours in raising chocobos. I could have done that in real life
You could
with
have
a
had your,
falcon. Yeah.
your falcons could be out there right now.
No falcon's getting me the fucking Knights of the Round material, though. So, yeah.
Dude, how cool are these guys, man? The guys are so cool now. Sorry, I'm saying guys. I mean the action figures.
Oh,
He's got like punchable hands you can
Oh, yeah.
shoot and everything, dude. We never had anything like this.
I don't
Punchable
really
hands
get
you can
nostalgic.
shoot.
I mean, sorry, hands you could shoot, detachable hands.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Sorry, I
shoot
didn't realize
anybody's
you were.
hand.
You can
I-
shoot anybody's hand.
I don't get nostalgic that often for like being a kid or go, oh, kids today have it so good, except when I'm looking at toys, like children's toys. It blows my mind how far we've come since I was a kid, and things were pretty good back then.
Yeah.
But like the toys now are, these kids are living in another fucking world.
I don't 100% agree. I remember I was in the store and I saw a box of Legos. And I think we had it so much better. Like Legos are way too complicated now. I liked when
think?
they just had the 4 separate like medieval space in the city.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
branding, I do agree, has like kind of cheapened it a little bit. I guess it's cool if you're a kid, you don't know any better. But right when you just had those generic themes, they were fun.
Yeah.
Like the skeleton Legos, I love those when I was a kid. Like now they wouldn't be skeleton Legos; they would be like the skeleton of Jack Sparrow or what. You know, it would be like a specific branded character.
But yeah, I guess I mean because toys are they're safer now. That's
Yeah.
not as like I had the Ninja Turtles pizza shooter.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh,
that
you-
thing was a menace.
You had that
Yeah.
thing too? I love that ninja. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was me right there. Yeah, the Lego sets now are like I feel like we didn't have the age ranges, right? Like now
Right.
you can look at these things and they go all the way from like 1 to my age. I think you can get them. Yeah, we definitely didn't have that.
They also never had those sculptures, the Lego sculptures that look like art, that look like
Yeah.
other. You know how they have like ones that look like
Yeah, you-
Iron Man's helmet or whatever, and there's not really any play value. It just like sits there and looks nice. Ours were all toys, like
Yeah.
unequivocally, like no, this is to like build a set and play little men on.
You
Like
had
we
that-
didn't have
yeah,
that next level, the meta Legos.
that 1 foot by 1 foot thing you could roll the car down. I'm like, all right, I got that car from one side of the street to the other.
That's right.
Good play. That was some solid play right there. Now I'll go outside and not be a fat fuck like all these other.
I remember going over to my friend's house when I was a kid, and his parents had bought him this like Lego mat that had like hills, but everything had the Lego brick on it. It blew my fuck. I was like, you can make like 3 things on this thing. Like three, you could have the street and a house. Like it was incredible. I was burning with jealousy that this thing existed.
Oh yeah,
that fucking rich friend, right?
Dude, just even having that would have been great because we were just like free constructing like on the table and
right.
stuff.
Yeah, that was exactly. It looked a lot like that, but it had like a plastic green hill. Maybe it was attached, but yeah, it was like crazy.
Yeah, you can like bend them and stuff. They're like these bendable kind of little. These are pretty.
I
cool.
was so jealous. That
What's the most jealous you've been of someone else's toy? Like what toy did they have where you were like, I want that so bad?
I don't think it was one toy. I had the friend with the basement with all the video. Like he had like 50 Sega Genesis games.
Yeah.
I mean, but that was like my second home. Like
right.
Everyone it's fucking reeked of BO. Because we like 7 of us would just chill there for 3 days straight. if you come up for air and then go back down, it fucking smell hit you.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about you guys?
How about you, Danny boy?
That's a tough question. Like the toy. Well, one of my best friends growing up, Sam, his house, he had like his dad was a doctor, and he had like the nicest fucking house in the I've ever been in. It's like in my mind, it's like the model of like what my success house looks like. I remember every time I would go over, and same thing, I would go over there a lot because we were close. It wasn't so much like the toys that he had because I got to play them all the time because I was always over there. You know, it was just this guy's house was so nice. And I bet now if I walked through as an adult, I would be like, it's still a really nice house, but like, whatever. But in my mind as like a kid, I was like, I wasn't living in squalor or anything. I have a nice house, but like it was like when I was a kid, I would go there and I'd be like, this is like a mansion. Like oh my God, it had skylights and shit. So I was jealous of my friend's house.
Definitely.
Well, you asked the question, so you clearly had something in mind.
There's a couple. I mean, a couple guys definitely got go-karts and stuff, but we're talking straight up toy bought, right? If we were talking toy bought,
go-kart's not a toy, kids.
It's not a toy.
You're a pussy.
Let's be honest. That's a lifestyle. Yeah, that's really what that is. If you get one as a kid. I remember when the Hulk gloves came out. I feel like that was fairly young. I remember being like, "Well, I'm not going to get those." Like, there's no way I'm getting those.
I got them as a present when I was 25.
Oh, really?
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
They came out later than I thought.
They talked though. These were talking Hulk gloves. So if you shook them up, you don't want me, you won't like me. Well, that annoyed me because he was like, you won't like me when I'm angry, but it was clearly the Hulk voice. But that is a Bruce Banner line.
No, yeah, the Hulk doesn't need.
He's already fucking angry. You already should not. You currently do not like me as
because I am angry.
Yes, of the anger control issues I'm currently going through. A very articulate Hulk, but yeah,
not as satisfying as a punch there.
Yeah, sometimes it just went
Hulk smash.
But you get jealous of Hulk gloves.
Yeah, I know, man. Sorry, I didn't have a lot.
Moon shoes, moon boots, Nickelodeon's moon boots.
I remember
which,
those.
Ironically, they were making them do that behind the scenes. They didn't cover that in the movie, but they were making them run around on moon shoes. Very dangerous, bad for your ankles.
Wait, what do they have? Little fucking propellers in them?
They're like trampoline shoes.
These were
those.
Yeah, you remember these fucking dumb. These things
break your ankles, and my parents wouldn't buy them for me because they were like, will break your ankle and you'll get hurt. And I was so mad that I couldn't have this.
It makes it harder it makes it harder to run away from casting directors.
Exactly. They made all that kid. You know, one of the worst things is, and maybe you need to cue up your sound here about me.
Okay.
I used to live in Los Angeles.
Say what?
Yeah, I used to live in Los Angeles. And I don't know if that goes through or not. And I lived with a former All That cast member.
No way.
Yeah, I'll drop his name here. His name is Ryan Coleman. He's not watching, but if
there's
Ryan.
A Philly comic named Ryan Coleman, too. It's probably not the same one, but go on.
I was his roommate for about let's see, 6 or 8 months. Really great guy. He goes by Colt Coleman now. There he is. You can click on it.
Oh,
Yeah. He is awesome.
That's a sharpened chin.
He is a great musician, a great dude, great friend of mine. Love the guy to death. But he was on one of the later seasons of all that, like the very last
Schneider.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, during the fall and post Schneider. And I asked him at one point, I was like, did anything happen? Because those rumors have been up forever. And he was like, no. And he seemed a little disappointed.
So you didn't have to go in at night to stop his. You didn't have to like
there were no
gently pet his head.
No,
shh, it's okay.
No,
you're not back at Nickelodeon studio.
Yeah, he'd wake up.
Slime.
Yeah.
Don't slime me in my mouth. Don't slime me in my mouth.
Jeez,
yeah,
you took it too far.
Can't go anywhere.
One time I said I double dared him and he screamed and ran out of the room.
Yeah, but there he is. There's a little spotlight that even as in the adult actor, he kind of looks familiar. Like I saw him in something else, but I could be wrong.
I'm not sure. I don't think he's done.
Yeah.
I was hoping he would show up on the thing. But no, he says he experienced no harassment. So
That's
my
good.
one actual connection with all that reports, no harassment.
What's he? Is he okay? He's he's is he mixed?
Yes, I think.
Well,
yes.
as a kid, he just looks.
I believe he's
Italian.
Yes, I believe he's a mixed race.
Because like most of the black people in the documentary didn't deal with like harassment, but they said like all the sketches they were put in were racist.
Yeah, they were, and they found some pretty bad sketches for the one guy that had to put on the
fetus.
Yes, the fetus.
What the fuck was that? Who the hell? What kind of kid entertainment was that?
What was that?
What is
this? It was called MC Fetus or something. Yeah. He was like a rapper, like Lil Fetus or
Lil Fetus.
Yeah,
or
that's
something.
it.
Yeah, and
he was a rapper. It was a kid in like a skin suit.
What the?
And they matched the skin suit exactly to his skin shade, and
Wait, okay.
He was like curled up.
Is this
like
in all
fetus.
that? Is this Nickelodeon? What
this
are we?
Was yeah. This was all that. Yeah, this was on all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
put up Little Fetus.
What is this?
That's Little Fetus.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, as I said, this was a little bit past like this.
I didn't. See,
I never even watched all that. But yeah, that I don't understand who that's for, dude.
What the?
At what age do you know what a fetus is?
Right.
Yeah.
I will say that I thought it was like it would have been a funny Bob and David sketch if it was all adults and it was like Bob Odenkirk and like David Cross, something like Little Fetus
100%.
or like Tim Heidecker. That would be funny.
Sure.
This concept of putting someone in a skin suit and having him be like a fetus rapper could be funny, but not with children, man. Like kids aren't. No, you can't be doing that. Unless I guess if I was 13. In which case I'd be like, holy shit.
Was his
Little
message
fetus.
About pregnancy or something? Was that the stuff?
I'm not
Do you
sure.
remember?
Did all that?
I didn't see Little Fetus live as a child. I saw it. He was featured on the movie.
Okay.
They covered this guy.
I didn't see any.
He was a late all that guy too, but I think this guy that was Little Fetus, he came on in season 6 or 8 or something. So I think we're too old to remember that era.
Gotcha.
Is that I don't remember my friend Ryan on all that. I never saw those episodes.
Okay.
But I remember, Keenan and Kel and Mary Beth and that, the original, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you asked, did it have a message? Did any of all that have a message?
No. Stay away from Dan Schneider, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah,
the whole thing. Yeah, you think we're gonna find anything else about Cartoon Network and all these other children programs from when we were younger?
Well, Cartoon Network didn't have live action.
I know.
So it was all adults.
I'm saying, how much of our children's programming do you think Disney? All of
Disney,
it,
100. Well, they mentioned Zach and Cody in the thing, and I thought that was another Nick. And then they said, and then Disney came out with shows like Zach and Cody. But you just said that dude worked on it. Well,
I think what happened was he went to Zach and Cody, and the people at Zach and Cody were not like Dan Schneider, and they were like, get this creep off the fucking set. And he got kicked off within his first couple months working there, and they fired him. So that's why I think Zach and Cody gets away with it, because they immediately sniffed this guy out as a weirdo. Oh my God. I know we don't have too many minutes left, but
go nuts.
The fucking Drake Bell's dad in that thing. I was like, it was like you see like a blue collar man move to tears for like a blue collar man reason. It's like,
yeah, that's why.
Holy shit, this guy tried everything. And Drake Bell was like, being a kid, being a shitty little, like, I want to be famous. And he was like, oh, this guy's going to rape you. And it's just like, there's nothing he could do. It was fucking crazy.
Well, that guy was diabolical. He turned the mom against the dad like that.
He turned Drake Bell against his own father so he could rape him.
That was why you don't fucking book him. That's the dude you fucking start and close the series with, not the guy that was kind of a creep and an asshole.
Yeah, I got
Joe Pa. It's the Joe Pa thing.
That's true.
You know, you're responsible for it because it happened under your watch. And I think the Zach and Cody thing proves they didn't spend enough time on it. Maybe they couldn't find people who wanted to talk about it. But like that to me proves that it's like he got away with it because these guys didn't care. You know, they were misogynistic, like you know, frat boy assholes. Whereas they got to like a set where people did give a shit and they were like, yeah, you can't be around kids, you fucking creep. Like, so maybe at that point he was more unhinged and like he'd been getting away with it for so long or whatever. He was like more open about it. I don't know.
When you mentioned the Joe Pa, it's not so much who's the bigger offender. It's that's the media flaw. It's going after the bigger name.
Right.
So
who's in
that's
charge?
more of the story. Yeah. People, nobody hears of some random offensive coordinator or the craft services. What was he? The speech.
Yeah. The other
coach,
the other guy in that scandal. Yeah.
So you got the Dick Wolf or the fucking, well, that guy's got to have done some shit. He writes all those shows about rape and his name is Dick Wolf.
His name's Dick Wolf. I wouldn't trust anyone named Dick Wolf. If this pedophile guy, his name was like Brian Peck or something like that. If his name was Dick Wolf, he wouldn't have gotten away with it.
That's true.
Was this also the dude who was he doing the same thing with the feet? Because that's the first thing. Who am I thinking of?
Oh, who was doing that?
Yeah, was that also Nickelodeon? Am I losing my mind?
No, that might have been Dan Schneider. I think they cover that early on.
That was the first thing that I heard about. Was like first it was like, hey, what's up with like this guy definitely was into kids' feet, and then I thought I heard him saying like, yeah, I'm whatever. It wasn't a big deal. We just put it into the it's feet thing. And then the documentary came out. So I got to watch the doc again. The doc we're talking about.
Yeah, you definitely have to watch the doc. You will be shocked as we.
Do you want to tell everybody? Yeah, the doc and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the documentary is called. What is it called?
Quiet on Set.
Quiet on Set.
And they come out. I think there'll probably be a Disney one soon. These documentaries like this come out in pairs. Remember Fire Festival?
Yeah.
Fucking 3 of them on one on each streaming service had their own fire. Every streaming service is gonna have their own pedophile producers. Disney will have one. Fucking cartoon.
Jesus.
Oh
Christ.
wow!
You
put an actual fucking beep.
I did not.
Christ.
You're done. You're done.
And
one of our fucking listeners probably thought their life alert.
We didn't. We'll save it for next week. We didn't get to cover a ship hitting a bridge and destroying it. A lot going on, but we had to talk about Nickelodeon being a rape factory. So,
go into the news. Here we go.
Let's go to the news. Yeah, all right. This is the news section. I don't need to tell you shit, but I may need to tell some new listeners what's going on. Dave and I write 12 jokes every week, although Dave actually wrote 15 jokes because he's an overachiever.
I forgot we changed the rules.
I don't know how you forgot these rules, or well, you thought that because we didn't have a guest, we would write more. A noble pursuit, but I definitely didn't.
I've been throwing out garbage these past few weeks, so I had to play the numbers game and write more.
I understand. This is one of my garbage weeks, so this is one to forget. Maybe we can add yours, throw them in at the end for the Patreon subscribers, you know. Okay, Dave and I do not know what we've written. We haven't confirmed. We haven't talked about it. If we have a joke about the same news story, we will have a joke off. And while Dave and I are joking each other off, normally our guest would be the judge. We don't have a guest. That's great for you because I'm up big. I think I'm up on you too now. So we do not have it. So you will be the judge, ladies and gentlemen.
We started making the jokes its own separate YouTube clip, so you can vote in that comment
That's
section.
right. You can vote in the comment section. You can vote in the chat. You really do whatever you want.
Yeah.
We'll note
you'll
them.
do nothing.
Or do nothing. Yeah. Or take it in passively and have another drink. Okay. Dave, would you like to go first, as is your tradition?
Sure. Original The Crow director slams remake over concerns for Brandon Lee's legacy. Although it's been a while since that movie came out, so his recollection of what it was like on that set should be a little rusty.
Okay. All right. I like it. Anything you can tie back to Rust is always a good.
Yeah.
All right. A lawmaker was caught calling the dysfunctional Biden impeachment hearings Jurassic Park, which fits because, like Jurassic Park, Republicans let a chubby, greedy little jerk take all the power and let the predators loose.
All right. Usher reveals that his family didn't know about his Las Vegas wedding beforehand. Although he said if it makes him feel any better, if a woman is willing to have unprotected sex with him, he probably didn't tell her about some things too.
All right. Kristen Sinema announces her retirement. And the senator plans to focus on her family, where we shall be. Fuck. All right, let me try that one more time. Take it right from the top. Kristen Sinema announces her retirement, and the senator plans to focus on her family, where she will begin taking bribes and betraying her close friends and relatives. All right. Get through that one.
Maryland town suspends its entire police force, leaving residents to wonder why. And soon they'll be asking the other 4 W's too, like who, what, when, and where did all these black people come from?
All right.
That is the right response. Okay.
Boy.
All right.
No, I like it. And coming after this one that's coming up next, this is for the certain type of people on the internet. Oklahoma. Try it again. Holy shit. Oklahoma ranked worst state for women in recent study. In fact, the state is so misogynistic, it's actually growing a panhandle.
I get it.
Yeah, it's a cooking utensil.
Yeah, I thought it took me a second.
Yeah.
I was like, is that something does it have to do with a woman's shape? No, okay. But I got there.
Thanks.
And if it took me a minute.
It's going to take
boy,
the
our
internet forever.
No. Native Americans are hardest hit by syphilis surge, which is terrible. First, they got sick from receiving blankets, and now they're getting sick from hitting the sheets.
Lovely. Good job.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Syphilis surge also sounds great. That could just write that one down.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. Should be like a wrestler or something. The syphilis surge. The United Nations says the war in Sudan is one of the worst disasters in recent memory. And they're trying to raise awareness by finding some Jews to blame it on so Gen Z will start making TikToks about it.
I mean, but
doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Kyle Rittenhouse flees stage after face-off with booing protesters. Although the protesters then fled themselves after one of them said, is he coming back?
I tried to write something for that story. I'm glad you did. Actor James Marsden of X-Men wrote a letter in support of Drake Bell's sexual abuser. As if poor Drake Bell hasn't spent enough time struggling against a rock-hard Hollywood Cyclops.
That's too good, but we probably can't use that.
No, you're probably right, but I do like that. I'm a fan of it.
That's a very good one. All right. Florida mother charged after daycare staff find gun inside her 2-year-old's lunchbox. She's being charged for 1 count of child negligence and 1 count of attempting to stick up a bank with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah, that's funny.
Silly.
I like the image. Yeah. She just pulls it out because she's had a busy day. She didn't get her kids to school. Steve from Blue's Clues makes fans emotional in video checking in after Nickelodeon scandal. Steve ended the video as he always does by telling the fans he loves them and reminding them that legally a talking dog can give consent.
All right. Veto means Wyoming's only clinic providing procedural abortions can stay open. Wyoming officials have said not to think of it as the state having only 1 abortion clinic, but instead as Yellowstone Park National Park now having 2 areas where you can legally commit murder.
Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge damaged after being hit by passing ship. Scott Key famously wrote, "By the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air," which describes the revolution and an average night in Baltimore.
All right. New Indiana law requires professors to promote intellectual diversity to keep tenure, meaning that at some point, each one of these professors will have a meeting with the dean where they have to demonstrate they can do an elaborate handshake.
Okay. The CEO of Boeing, Dave Calhoun, to step down amid scandal. But don't worry, Calhoun will be given a large golden parachute, unlike all the people who have to sit next to the door in a 737 MAX.
That's good. And we have a joke off.
Oh, boy.
Joke off. All right. Boeing CEO to step down at end of the year. He was going to step down today, but had to postpone because before he could announce it, the podium collapsed due to a missing screw.
That was good. Okay, these are both strong, equally matched contenders.
That's right.
That.
That's
a
real Jake
go ahead
Paul
and vote.
Tyson, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Craig Haas, if you're out there, let us know, buddy.
Yeah. And yeah, vote on the clip when we put it up. Okay. After weeks of speculation and secrecy, Kate Middleton announces she has cancer, and what the world agrees is the most underwhelming season finale of Game of Thrones ever.
All
what
right.
a letdown that story was.
If my other joke made you guys uncomfortable. State Farm to discontinue 72,000 home policies in California. State Farm is going to need a scapegoat for this, and that means we finally have some insight on why they turned Jake from State Farm black. It's not me, it's State Farm.
I understand. Yeah. It's State Farm doing the messed up stuff, but I like it. The first Dragon Ball theme park to be built in Saudi Arabia, which will be challenging as it's very hard to tell when someone has gone Super Saiyan under a burqa.
Oh, and I'm the racist. All right. Wizards and Capitals proposed move not permitted for at least 24 years, DC Attorney General says. This is exciting news to Wizards fans that their team will be around long enough that they'll be able to see draft busts who haven't even been born yet.
They should put a bullet in that team. You know what I mean? Hey, all right.
Best name in sports.
I know. I cannot believe that they got rid of that one. Anyway, the Bullets is a great team name, especially for a crime city. All right. Elon Musk says his ketamine prescription is in his investors' best interests. And he may be right. The man has a fleet of self-driving cars, half the world's satellites, and every Nazi on Twitter. We are all safer with that man in a K-hole.
All right. Here's a deep cut. Joni Mitchell's Spotify protest ends as her music is added back to the streaming platform. And if that doesn't convince people that she's sold out, witnesses also say that before her meeting with the execs, they saw her pull into a parking lot.
Okay. Singer Ben Folds divorces fifth wife Emma Sandel after 6 years of marriage. So he will be back on tour with the expensive handful of alimony payments now known as the Ben Folds Five. Okay.
All right, where was I?
Yeah, you just rattle the rest of yours off.
Okay. No, I can skip this one.
Okay.
All right.
Because that was my 12th, I believe.
Okay. I got two more then.
Okay.
Drake Bell blasts Nickelodeon's pretty empty response to Quiet on Set. Nickelodeon defended itself by saying they're taking this all very seriously and have even instituted a strict "you can't do that off television either" policy.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
And all right, I don't watch baseball, so I'm gonna probably butcher this dude's name, even though it's like the biggest name in sports right now. Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
All right. Shohei Ohtani categorically denies any links to gambling, or as it was put by his new translator, put it all on black and let it ride, baby.
That's good.
All right.
All right. That's the news.
That's the news.
There we go. We did it.
Sweet. What do you got coming up?
This Friday, we are having. Hold on, I'm having all kinds of my mind. I'm having a stroke. My throat's collapsing. The end of this episode couldn't come at a better time for me. I am having a show on Friday, Animated Brewing, my show in Coatesville. We will be there at 8:00. Neil's doing a little rave dance. I thought you were trying to get my attention.
Sorry,
we'll be there at 8.
Are you on it?
No,
I'm just happy for him to have a show, man.
I mean, you can come. I can give guest spots to you guys if you want to drive all the way out to Coatesville.
Okay.
But we have Emily Epstein White, Adam Nutter.
Yeah,
a friend of the show, friend of
Emily's
our producer.
great.
He's great. And Tom Levy. So
Hey.
he will be on as well. Tom, if you're watching, can't wait to see you. And then me. And then that'll be great. I'll be hosting. It'll be a good night. What about you?
I don't remember the name. I don't know the name of the place. I'm doing an all black room.
Oh boy.
I'm going to do some of these jokes.
I'll tell you what, don't tell Jesus. They don't like that.
They'll like what I tell them. No, I will do great. Or not.
I believe in you. Or
yeah.
not.
And no, that's it. I got a lot of TV to catch up on, so I'll do that. Yeah.
All right. All the TV you missed while you were playing Final Fantasy.
Yeah. That new Netflix show got some more Shogun to catch up on. Yeah.
Shit! I gotta start watching Shogun.
Yeah. Also, I'll get on it so Neil doesn't yell at us. Go onto the Drop Tent site and get some T-shirts with our faces on them, so you can look good.
Yeah, it benefits you guys.
Yeah, it's great. It helps us out.
Put our faces on a nice pair of knockers.
Sure.
So people can be like, oh, staring at those two guys, and we'll
be like, yeah.
We got
I'm looking at my favorite.
That's what you're looking at. Yeah.
My favorite quasi-comedy podcasters. But you're really looking at boobs, and that's the gift you can give to the world if you order a Weekday Comics hoodie, shirt, or some kind of other product.
Sure. Speaking of the design of our, the person that did that, the Naughty Boss, has a book coming out. I think you can pre-order that. It's a crocheting book.
It's okay. Naughty Boss.
Crochet Secrets by the Naughty Boss.
It'll be in the description.
It's something along the lines of that. I'll get the exact name.
We'll
put
it in the description.
It comes out in June.
Stop talking. No, I love you. I'm saying,
we will get that information and put it in the description when Dave actually knows when his friend of the show.
If I could just have one person buy it, then I won't feel the need to.
Oh, right.
Because what the fuck am I going to do with a crochet book?
That's true.
Maybe we'll get her on. She'll teach us how to crochet in 45 simple minutes.
All right. We have a lot of comics to get on before we start.
Okay. Fuck
on.
And they can follow your Instagram just in case you guys maybe have another live show coming up. They can follow you guys at Weekday Comics Pod. Right?
Sure. Yes, please do. That would be great.
On Instagram.
And Neil, what do you have coming up?
Oh, sure. Hopefully you guys get to do some Myers shows soon. I think we talked about maybe doing some bookings. Yeah. So come on out to Biggest Little Comedy. You can check out all those shows over at droptent.com, and you can also check out their page. And if you need all the links to the Weekday Comics and all their stuff, follow their audio, whatever it might be, go over to their page on droptent.com, and you can get all that information there, everybody. But thanks, guys. Get up.
Peace.
Cool. See you next week, everyone.
You guys immediately go to out. I'm never ready for out, but it's going to be good.
Well, there we go. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Oh, man, that was we fucking landed that like Kerry Strug should have.
How you doing? This is Neil Wood from the Cult of Us podcast, speaking on behalf of Drop 10 Media Network, the network you're currently listening to. Make sure to check out all the other podcasts on the network. You can go to drop10.com to check them all out. Make sure to like, subscribe on everything that you see Drop 10 on. We appreciate it. Go to drop10.com now.
This has been a Drop 10 Media production.